My dear friends, just 2 days ago we celebrated the International Women's Day, and today on 10th of March we commemorate the death anniversary of the first woman teacher of India, that is Savitri Bai Phule. Savitri Bai Phule was born on 3rd January 1831 in a place called Naigaon, just 50 kilometers away from Pune. At the age of 9, she was married to a man called Jyotirao Phule, and both of them belonged to the Mali or the gardener caste. Jyotirao Phule was educated by some Christian missionaries, and Savitri Bai was illiterate. Jyotirao went to do higher studies, and he was impressed by the missionary commitment of the Christians in Pune and Ahmednagar, and the education for the common people that they disseminated. So he came back to his village, and when they were married, Jyotibai Phule was just 13 years old. And as a young man, he started teaching girls and boys. He realized that India cannot improve, India cannot develop, and India cannot achieve freedom unless and until the woman folk also gets educated. But he had a lot of difficulties. He couldn't manage all the students, their number increased. And he realized that he needs the support of some women. So he trained his own wife, Savitri Bai, to get educated. She became literate and entrusted the continuing ongoing education to his friends. Later, Jyotiba sent his wife Savitri Bai to Ahmednagar, where she got enrolled herself in 2 teachers training programs. The first was at an institution run by an American missionary, Cynthia Ferrer, in Ahmednagar, and the second course was at a normal school in Pune. Given her training, Savitri Bai may have been the first Indian woman teacher and headmistress. After completing her teacher's education, Savitri Bai Phule started teaching girls at Pune. She did so alongside Saguna Bai Shir Sagar, who was a elderly cousin sister of Jyotiba Phule, and she had been taking care of orphan children in the house of a European missionary. And she learned the art of caring for the orphans. So both of them started teaching. And they got the support of a Muslim lady named Fatima Sheikh, who was educated. 3 of them, along with Jyotiba Phule, started teaching. But the job was not easy. People around started resisting. People said this is against their faith. A woman should never educate herself. A woman should not teach others. It's against the law of the land. And they started harassing her. Savitri Bai would go walk to the school which was far away from her house with books in her hands, and she was pelted with stones. They started throwing cow dung at her, and even they started spitting beetle onto her body. And yet she continued her service. Later her husband saw her misery. He advised her to keep 3 saris. One to wear at home, the other to wear while going to the school, which would be dirtied because of the persecution of the people, and the 3rd sari to change after reaching the school to take class. And Savitri Bai did that. But the persecution didn't end. They started continuing to harass her. Then Jyotiba Phule appointed a peon to accompany her, and people were all the more enraged. So some of the Brahmins of the village went to his father, because Jyotiba and Savitri, they were being supported by their father, and all their expenses were met by him. And these people told the father of Jyotiba Phule, his name was Govind, Govind, you are going to hell. You are a cursed man because your daughter-in-law is getting out of the house. She should be within the walls of the house, but she gets out, and with books, as if she is an educated foreign madam, she moves around and she teaches. She is making our daughters to go wayward. And they threatened him that his ancestors and his descendants all will go to hell. So Govind got convinced that it is a irreligious thing, and he pushed out Jyotiba, his son, and his daughter-in-law from his house. They took a room on rent. There too they were attacked by people who were sent to murder. But Jyotiba and Savitri together converted them and made them to send their daughters also to their schools. They started a chain of schools for girls, and thus they became the great educationists. So we see that in the 1850s, Savitri Bai and Jyotiba Phule established two educational trusts. They were entitled to the Native Male School Pune and the Society for Promoting the Education of Mahar, Mans, Chamar, etc. These two trusts ended up encompassing many schools which were led by Savitri Bai Phule and later Fatima Sheikh. In fact, in her personal lives, both of them didn't have any children. But later, they adopted a boy named Yashwant, son of a Brahmin widow who died. Savitri Bai and her adopted son Yashwant opened a clinic to treat those affected by the worldwide third pandemic of the bubonic plague when it appeared in the area around Nalasopara in 1897. The clinic was established on the stern outskirts of Pune in an area free of infection. Savitri Bai died a heroic death trying to save the son of Pandurang Babaji Gaikwad. Upon learning that Babaji Gaikwad's son had contracted the plague in the Mahar settlement outside of Mundwa, Savitri Bai Phule rushed to his side and carried him on her back to the hospital. In the process, Savitri Bai Phule caught the plague and died at 9 p.m. on 10th March 1897. Savitri Bai was also an author and poet. She published Kavya Phule in 1854 and Bhavan Kashi Subodh Ratnakar in 1892. And she wrote a poem entitled Go Get Education, in which she encouraged those who are oppressed to free themselves by obtaining an education. As a result of her experience and work, she became an ardent feminist. She established the Mahila Seva Mandal to raise awareness for issues concerning women's rights. Savitri Bai also called for a gathering place for all women that was free of caste discrimination or differentiation of any kind. Symbolic of this was that all the women that attended were to sit on the same mat, no difference between Brahmins and others. She was also an anti-infanticide activist. She opened a women's shelter called the Home for the Prevention of Infanticide, where Brahmin widows could safely deliver their children and leave them there to be adopted if they so decide. She also campaigned against child marriage and was an advocate of widow remarriage. Savitribai Phule's legacy lives on today. Her work for girls and women's education is hugely respected, along with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and also Anna Bhau Sathe. Savitribai Phule has become an icon in particular for the backward classes. Women in local branches of the Manavi Hak Abhiyan or Human Rights Campaign, a Mang Ambedkarite body, frequently organize processions on the Jayanti and the death anniversary of Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule. And Pune City Corporation has created a memorial for her in 1983. On 10th March 1998, a stamp was released by India Post in honor of Phule. Savitribai's birthday, 3rd January, is celebrated as Balika Din, that is Girl Child Day, in the whole of Maharashtra, especially in girls' schools. In 2015, the University of Pune was renamed as Savitribai Phule Pune University in her honor. So, my dear friends, we honor Savitribai Phule, a great feminist, a great woman activist, and the one who pioneered girls' education in India. And let us keep up her legacy. And she was inspired by the European missionaries for their commitment to give education to people, all people, especially girls, without any discrimination of caste or creed. Let us continue that commitment to give education to the lowest, to those who really need it. Thank you.